Newsflash! More racism! Yeah! Trump is signing, I guess he's trying to sign some bill to do something about this African American museum, because they're talking about like changing all the Smithsonian back to their normal, I guess, American history that we are used to. So of course they're focusing on the African American Museum of History. First of all, the African American Museum is amazing, okay? It really is amazing. I've been there 4 times, went through it 4 times. And the good thing about it is I studied a lot of it, so I knew a lot of it already. It's really beautiful. And if you look at the museum, if you ever go to DC, it's the only brown Smithsonian. It stands out. Most of the buildings in DC are very white, especially that monument that looks like a white dick. Yeah, actually, they got that from Egypt, actually. But anyway, but all the other buildings are white. The Capitol, the White House, all of those other buildings are white. But except for this African American Museum, which is kind of shaped differently and it's very brown. So he wants to change whatever's in there. Well, I hope they're in for a big ass fight, because what the fuck are you gonna change? What are you gonna change? Because all of this stuff in there is facts. And by the way, the African American Museum, that is actually lightweight shit. All right? That's actually lightweight to the atrocities that whites have put upon African Americans. And I'm talking about Black Americans. I'm talking about foundational Black Americans. The atrocities in that museum aren't all that is shown. It's actually lightweight. Historically, whites have done worse to Black people. Actually, you're leaving a lot of shit out. I don't give a damn if it's the movies Amistad, fuck it, Roots, Django, all those slave movies. That shit is the lightweight version. In fact, if they actually showed what really happened to slaves, nobody would be able to watch it. Not even Black people. Nobody would be able to watch what the fuck has happened to Black Americans. Nobody. And even colonization. Nobody would be able to show what has happened to Africans and colonizations, what Europeans have done to Africans, which is beyond atrocious, which is unfucking fathomable and unforgivable. And the fact that Black people around the world have got to be the most forgiving people on the fucking planet. That is a fact. The shit that has happened to Black men and Black women, physically, mentally, spiritually, I'm surprised we're not going around taking people's heads off, because we don't do shit like that. Because Black folks, I'm just keeping it 100, you know, in science, the African is 100% human, and the European is 97% human and 3% Neanderthal. Go look it up. We're the most forgiving race. I'm sorry. Black folks didn't do anything to you. Black people didn't do shit to you. Don't talk about that black on black crime shit, because you all commit more crimes than we do. Don't come and deflect me with that bullshit, because this is getting ridiculous. So I'm coming with this intense video because it's getting ridiculous. I knew this was gonna happen. See, once they were like, okay, they were like, let's get rid of all the Latinos, dog the women. I knew it. Black people are always on the list as the #1 problem. The people who built the country, and everybody took advantage of Black sweat, blood, and tears. Everything was always, we gotta get Black people. Everything, every move they made, DEI, everything was, even though white women, and we all know this, white women were the ones that benefited from DEI. DEI was always about these goddamn Blacks. You always had a problem with Black people all the time, whatever it is. And what's really funny is, how come you're not rolling back the NFL or the NBA? I'm not insulting any of the athletes, but how come you're not rolling back that? Why don't you make that all white? Make NFL and NBA all white, and we'll get our own leagues, and we can always like have an annual competition. You haven't touched sports yet. You want Black people to run up and down these fields and courts and sweat their asses off, but you haven't. I'm trying to understand this. Why are you trying to fuck with the African American Museum? What are you doing? You're gonna put back all the monuments, all the racist monuments and the fuck boys and the slave owners and shit? What? So, well, while you put that up, we should put up some new statues of our shit too. This shit is a fucking joke. It's a joke. And you know what's great? Is black people are getting tired of this shit. This ain't the 1920s and 30s and shit. These are different black people now. You have a whole different breed. When we fight back, you can fuck around and find out. All right? You're fucking around and finding out about all kinds of shit with other countries. China's telling you something. Mexico is pissed off. I always knew that it was going to be about black people. Because black folks, the foundational black Americans, have every right to be here. Every right to be in America. Oh, yes, they do. And the reason why you ain't come after Native Americans is because you got rid of most of them. See, because Native Americans should be really complaining about this whole shit. They should be in the forefront of all this shit. But you murdered most of them, so they can't really say much. They can't really say much because you put them on reservations. You understand? I don't know how you all feel about this, but I'm just ranting. But this shit's getting out of hand. Now that they've gotten rid of most shit, it's always about black progress. It's like we're the bane of your existence. Black people are the bane of white people's existence, man. There are white people actually fighting against that. All right? There are allies. Of course there are allies. But the whole scheme of things is black people are the problem. The ones that built the buildings in D.C. Benjamin Banneker, who designed all of D.C. But it's all good because this ain't going to come without a fight. You can guarantee you that shit. And all you handkerchief head ass Negroes, you Aunt Jemima motherfuckers that are with these people, yeah, you going down too. You going down too. Okay? So get your fucking tap shoes because, yo, this shit is about to get ugly. You let me know. You all let me know. I'm ranting on. I probably said some of the wrong shit. Hey, man, but I had to say something because it's getting out of fucking hand. And I hope there's going to be a fight. You need to leave history alone. Black history basically is how they were treated like shit by white people. That's basically what it is. Black American history is about black people being shit on by white people as they were trying to progress. Yeah, and you don't want to hear it, but we have to because you still behave like that. You haven't changed. Now, I can understand if you've changed your attitude. You don't call us niggas anymore. You actually aren't passive aggressive. You stopped redlining. You stopped gentrifying what doesn't belong to you. You know, you stopped actually defunding black schools, keeping black people in ghettos, mass incarceration. Let's say all of that stopped and there was no more of that. Then I would be like, hey, man, we need to stop complaining. We need to start treating them better. But it hasn't changed. Your behavior hasn't changed. It's exactly like the early 1800s and 1700s and 1500s. It's the same shit, right? And we have to know where this behavior comes from. It's like medical history. If you have a disease, the doctor's going to say, well, let's look at your family history on why this is occurring. That is why history is important, so we can know why you keep acting a fucking fool. You know, I believe that this is just a case of racial dyslexia. Yeah, they don't mean DEI, they mean DIE. Die, blacks, die. Please get away. Please go. I don't want any more diversity programs. Please, we know we fucked you up. We know it. We know half the shit that we have has been stolen. We know we fucking decimated the Native Americans. We know, but we just want you to go away. We don't want black history because all of black history is just basically white atrocities and how we treated you. Please, DIE, go away. This white guilt is killing me. It's choking me every day. Why? Why does it have to be about race? I know we made it about race first, but why? I would rather deflect on you and just blame you. Why? I can't wait to hear the comments.